For nearly 2 decades, fans around the world knew Jung Woo as the sweet smile behind timeless K-dramas, the noble scholar, the romantic lead, the gentle protector, the guy who always carried a quiet sadness in his eyes, as if he had lived 100 lives before the camera ever turned on. But no one imagined that behind that soft smile, behind that calm voice, behind that humble personality, was a story that could have been taken straight out of a Chaebol family K-drama. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this story to keep the light burning for truth and compassion. Not even his closest fans knew. Not until now. 18 years. 18 long years of silence. And then, finally, the truth broke open like the final episode twist everyone never saw coming. This is the story of the secret he kept, the weight he carried, and why he decided to reveal it now.
And trust me,
it feels exactly like a K-drama. Long before he became a star, Jung Woo lived a life divided into two worlds. The world everyone saw, the cheerful boy with artistic dreams, raised in a warm household, supported by loving parents. And the world no one knew, a lineage tied to prestige, history, and influence, the kind of family background that could dominate headlines, start rumors, or create expectations heavy enough to crush even a rising star. It was the type of heritage that K-dramas build entire seasons around. Old money, old connections, old responsibilities. But Jung Woo never wanted to rise because of a family name. He wanted to rise because of who he was. So he did what very few in his position would have courage to do. He hid it. Not out of shame, but out of protection. Protection for his career. Protection for his loved ones. And protection for his own peace. Fans always wondered why he moved so carefully, spoke so respectfully, and worked so tirelessly, as if he had something to prove. Now we know. When he debuted, reporters asked all the usual questions. Where did you grow up? What did your parents do? What was your childhood like? He always smiled gently. My family supported me, he would say, keeping it simple, polite, and warm. And that was enough for a while. But behind the scenes, there was pressure. Not from his fans. Not from his agency. But from the world he came from, a world that valued privacy, dignity, and tradition. A world where names mattered. Where reputation mattered. Where silence was safer than spotlight. Even as he rose in fame, after High Kick, after Moon Embracing the Sun, after Cinderella and the Four Knights, he never spoke about his background. Because once a powerful name is revealed, everything changes. People treat you differently. The industry whispers. Doors open too easily. And people question your talent. He wanted none of that. He wanted people to say, he earned it.
he worked for it.
He deserved it.
Not.
Oh, it's because of his family. So for 18 years, he locked his truth away, carried it quietly, and focused on his craft. He lived like the hero of a drama who refused to use his privilege, a male lead hiding his real identity, trying to build his own destiny. Then, on a quiet day this month,
He spoke. For the first time.
fans said the moment felt like watching episode 15 of a drama, the moment when the secret finally comes out, and everything you thought you knew changes. He revealed that he came from a prestigious family background, respected, accomplished, and known in social circles far beyond entertainment. Not Chaebol drama levels of gold-plated mansions and private jets, but a lineage marked by
Honor.
heritage, academic excellence, historical significance, and a standard of excellence passed down through generations. Fans were shocked, not because it was unbelievable, but because they realized they had never expected someone so humble to hide something so big. Social media exploded.
Il was.
From a prestigious family? No wonder he has such royal vibes. This is straight out of a K-drama. I knew there was something special about him. So, he's basically a real-life nobleman but never once bragged? It was chaos, soft chaos, respectful chaos, but chaos nonetheless. And as fans processed the news, one question kept repeating. Why hide it for 18 years? During the reveal, Jung Woo's voice carried a softness, The kind of softness that only comes from years of holding something quietly inside. He explained that he didn't want the world to judge him by his family. He wanted to be recognized for his acting, his hard work, his passion, his late-night rehearsals, his struggles, his tears, his dedication to every character he played. He wanted to grow without shortcuts, without assumptions, without anyone saying, he has it easy. So he chose the difficult path, the path where he had to prove himself again and again. And he did. Not once did he rely on a famous name or influential connection. His journey was built by sweat, not privilege, by talent, not background, by heart, not heritage. That is why fans love him even more now. Imagine carrying something so big, so defining, so deeply tied to your identity, and never speaking about it for almost 2 decades. Imagine being careful in interviews, careful online, careful with every word. Imagine living quietly, even when fame tried to make you loud. It wasn't just a family secret. It was a responsibility, one he chose himself. And like any K-drama hero, he bore it alone. But inside him, there was always a quiet storm, a desire to share his true self, a longing to stop hiding, a hope that one day he could speak without fear of misunderstanding. And finally he did. The reaction online was nothing short of cinematic. Some fans said, "It feels like we're living in a K-drama plot twist. He's literally a real-life, noble character. I admire him even more now." Others said, "He stayed humble despite everything. That's true character. This is why he's one of the best in the industry." The news didn't change who he was, but it deepened the story behind the man. Now fans could understand the quiet elegance, the calm strength, the timeless aura, the old soul gentleness. It all made sense. He wasn't acting noble. He simply was noble, quietly, humbly, and gracefully. So why did Jung Il-woo finally speak? He explained simply, "I think now I can share it without being misunderstood." After 18 years, he is established, respected, trusted, loved by millions, defined by his work, not his family. He no longer fears the narrative being twisted. He no longer fears comparisons. He no longer fears the pressure. He is safe in his own name. The time was right. When you step back and look at his journey, it becomes clear. Jung Il-woo lived a real-life K-drama arc. A young man with a hidden heritage. A career built through struggle, passion, and perseverance. A secret kept to protect his dreams. A reveal that shakes the hearts of fans. A character defined not by privilege, but by humility. This is why people love him. Not because of where he came from, but because of how he chose to walk his path. Now that the news is out, many fans wonder, will this change anything? The truth is, it only adds depth to his story.
It does not change his talent.
It does not change his craft. It does not change the love fans have for him. But it does reveal something important. Jung Il-woo is a man who chooses sincerity over status. A man who values character over fame. A man who worked twice as hard so the world would see him, not his background. And now, more than ever, fans appreciate the integrity behind his journey. In every great K-drama, there is a moment of truth. A moment when the lead character finally reveals the secret that shaped his destiny. For Jung Il-woo, this was that moment. After 18 quiet years, after thousands of interviews, after countless roles, after storms, success, struggles, and triumphs, he finally said, "This is who I am." And the world listened, not with judgment, not with shock, but with love. Because sometimes the greatest twist isn't drama, it's honesty. And the greatest reveal isn't scandal, it's truth. Jung Il-woo's story reminds us that real heroes aren't born from privilege. They're made from the choices they make, the integrity they protect, and the humility they carry. And in that sense, he is not just an actor. He is a character written by life itself. And his drama is far from over. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this story to keep the light burning for truth and compassion. When fans look back at Jung Woo's performances, they suddenly see everything differently. The quiet depth in his characters, the emotional restraint, the sincerity in every line, the unspoken sadness he carries in his eyes. It was as if he knew, even then, that he was carrying something heavy behind him. He was living with a truth the public never knew. And somehow, that truth made him act with more realism, more heart, more vulnerability. He didn't just pretend to be noble on screen. He understood the burden of responsibility, expectation, and image in real life. Every role, where he played a prince, a gentleman,
à Chabolson,
a man born into privilege, but shaped by pain, now feels prophetic. As if life had been preparing him for these roles all along. Fans now say, no wonder he plays noble characters so naturally. He wasn't acting, he was speaking from experience. This makes everything feel so much deeper. And they're right. What most fans didn't see was how difficult it was to grow up in a family with a strong legacy. Prestige doesn't always mean comfort. Sometimes it means pressure. Pressure to succeed. Pressure to uphold the family's dignity. Pressure to be perfect. But Jung Woo chose a path that broke tradition. He became an actor. It wasn't a decision his family immediately understood. Not because they didn't support him, they did. But because the entertainment world is unpredictable, unstable, and often harsh. Yet he insisted. I want to live my own life, he said. I want to try.
And he did.
At first, there were concerns. Whispers in private gatherings. Questions from extended relatives. Why not pursue something more traditional? Is acting really a stable future? What if the media finds out our family background? But he held firm. He wanted to build a path where his success, or failure, would belong to him alone. And that decision shaped everything. For 18 years, he behaved the opposite of someone with privilege. He never bragged. He never demanded special treatment. He never flaunted wealth. He never acted superior. Instead, he thanked staff members personally. He bowed deeply to seniors and juniors alike. He worked late without complaint. He stayed grateful, always. People who worked with him often said, he is gentle. He is humble. He is respectful to everyone. Now fans understand why. Those raised with true dignity don't need to show off. They don't crave attention. They don't seek validation. Real prestige is quiet,
soft,
graceful, just like him. News media around the world covered the revelation. Social platforms lit up with shock, excitement, and admiration. But the most touching reactions came from fans who had followed him since the beginning. Many wrote messages like, you didn't hide it because you were ashamed. You hid it because you are humble. You proved that who you are matters more than where you come from. You make us proud, Illinois Woo. You taught us what real class is. Others made fan edits comparing him to noble characters he played, saying things like, he was royal all along. The prince finally revealed his title. It felt like a real-life drama finale, emotional, beautiful, and unforgettable. The revelation didn't distance him from the public. It brought him closer, because people realized something meaningful. He could have used his background to rise easily, but he refused. He could have leaned on family connections, but he didn't. He chose the difficult road, the lonely road, the honest road. And in an entertainment industry filled with shortcuts, privilege, and controversy, his integrity shines like a light. Fans admire him because he stayed grounded, he stayed kind, he stayed real. And that is rare, very rare. For Jung Woo, keeping his family history private was not just about protecting his career, it was about protecting his identity. He wanted to know, who am I when no one knows about my background? Can I stand on my own? Can I succeed without my family name? These questions shaped his 20s. They shaped his 30s. They shaped his career. And the answer turned out to be yes. He succeeded. Wildly. Beautifully. Independently. And only after achieving everything through pure effort. Only after proving himself 100 times over. Only then did he feel ready to share the truth. there is something poetic about the timing. 18 years after his debut, a symbolic number. 18 years of growth. 18 years of learning. 18 years of finding himself. And then, like a final episode reveal, he spoke. The boy who once carried a secret alone has finally become a man confident enough to reveal it. It feels like the ending of a drama season, but also the beginning of a new one. Now that the world knows the truth, Jung Il-woo stands at a new chapter of his journey. Not as a young actor hiding behind humility, but as a seasoned artist stepping into his full identity. Will this change the roles he chooses? Maybe. Maybe he will embrace more historical dramas. Maybe he will take on roles that explore lineage, heritage, and honor. Will this change how the industry sees him? Possibly, but not in a negative way. His reputation is built. His foundation is strong. His legacy is already forming. The world will now watch him with deeper understanding, not as a mysterious actor with gentle eyes, but as a man who walked a long, complicated, and meaningful journey to reach the place he stands today. Through this reveal, Jung Il-woo shared a message deeper than any headline. He didn't say it loudly. He didn't exaggerate. He didn't dramatize. But his message was clear. Your origins do not define you. Your choices do. He teaches fans that you can come from privilege and still be humble. You can have heritage and still work hard. You can carry secrets and still shine with honesty. You can choose your own path, even when it's difficult. And that is the biggest reason his story feels so K-drama-like. It's not about wealth. It's not about power. It's not about status. It's about character. When everything is stripped away, the fame, the roles, the headlines, the reveal, one truth remains. Jung Il-woo is a man who built his legacy with heart. He didn't let his background define him. He didn't let expectations cage him. He didn't let privilege control him. Instead, he lived patiently. He worked quietly. He succeeded gracefully. He revealed truthfully. And now, his fans see him not just as an actor, but as a human being with depth, courage, and integrity. Epilogue. The secret becomes his strength. Most K-drama stories end when the secret is revealed. But for Jung Il-woo, this feels like the beginning of a new journey. The secret that once weighed on him has now become his strength. The truth that once felt dangerous has now become liberating. The heritage he once hid has now become a beautiful part of his story. He is still the same Il-woo, gentle, humble, respectful, and hardworking. But now, fans finally see the whole picture. And they admire him even more. Because true nobility is not in birth, but in behavior, in character, in heart. And Jung Il-woo has all three. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this story to keep the light burning for truth and compassion.